Hello ladies and gentlemen, CaptainShack here, and welcome. It's that time of year again. The end of the year. Everybody's doing their wrap-up videos, talking about their top favorite game of the year, talking about the worst disappointments of the year. Looking at you, Call of Duty Ghost. At least for us PC players, way to go. Anyways, that's not what this video is about. This is all about modding, and what better way to tell a mod author that you enjoyed their work than telling them that you played so many hours of their mod. I think that's the biggest compliment you can give to a mod team, to a mod author, is I spent 25, 40 hours in your mod, and it was fantastic. I enjoyed every minute of it. So I decided, I compiled a list of some of my favorites this year. Now, these are my favorites that I personally, CaptainShack, played this year a lot of hours into. It doesn't mean they came out this year. It doesn't mean they're brand new. Maybe they got a patch or an update, or maybe I just discovered them for the first time. But these are the ones that ate up my free time, and I loved every minute of it. Okay, so jumping off, everybody on my channel already knows where it's coming, or what's coming. Star Trek Armada 3 for Sins of the Solar Empire. This one is a total conversion of Sins into the Trek universe. If you're Trekkie like me, you're gonna love this mod. It's got all the hero characters. You got Cisco in there, you got Picard and Janeway and all the classic ships like the Enterprise, and it's great. It's got the Klingons, the Federations, the Romulans. It's even got the Borg, which are balanced against multiple opponents. So if you've got a couple of buddies and you want a real strategic challenge, try out fighting the Borg. So another one that got my attention, I love Company of Heroes. I wasn't thrilled with Company of Heroes 2 that just came out this year, but Eastern Front has gotten some updates. Now, Eastern Front is a mod for Company Heroes that adds a whole new side. Now it adds 2 new sides, and I haven't tried the new side yet, but I played earlier this year with the Russians, and they made this mod based on the idea of making a mod that would be like an expansion pack made by the actual game developers. So now they've added a whole German side and the Russian side with the conscripts in there and all the Russian vehicles and tanks and stuff, and it fits so well, and the quality is right up there with the already released sides like the Brits and the Americans. So that is definitely one I highly recommend if you're a Company Heroes fan, but you want a little bit of a change. It does work in multiplayer too, so get your friends, download it, and you can jump into some awesome action with new sides and new units that all play very differently. So another Star Trek mod that got a lot of attention for me was Star Trek Continuum. I did a spotlight on this one. Actually, I've done a spotlight on all these mods so far. Continuum is in Homeworld 2, so if you've got a copy of the classic strategy game, Homeworld 2, I recommend you play this one. It sells all the great things about the Homeworld engine, and then mix that with your favorite Star Trek ships, and you've got just an epic battle going on. I've got some shots of the galaxy flying around, phasing in every direction, and the level of strategy compared to Sins in a fleet fight is just so deeper, but it's smaller in scale. That's what Homeworld's all about. Homeworld is all about. So let's see. Black Mesa got a good playthrough for me. Everybody knows what Black Mesa is. It's pretty much Half-Life 1 rebuilt in the Half-Life 2 engine with an upgraded graphics and gameplay. All the sounds are there. There's more voice acting. It's really, really good. It's won a ton of awards. Alright, next up, I played a lot of Pirates and Vikings and Knights. I don't know what it is about this game that has me so kind of addicted when I want a really quick team deathmatch, first-person mode. If it's not me just jumping into some Counter-Strike, it would be Pirates, Vikings, and Knights. You run around as a pirate and you can shoot the flintlock pistol or the knight who's heavily armored, and all the sides play so differently, and they all have subclasses on their side. Got the booty. Yar. Hey, you're dropping all the gold, man. What the hell? Ah! I don't know what you just said, but run! It's available over on Steam for a quick download. Highly recommend that one. Now, as for RPGs, they got a lot of love this year, at least for me. I had kind of a nostalgia kick, and I jumped into Morrowind HD Overhaul. Now, I originally installed this just to do a spotlight. I hadn't planned on actually playing a lot of Morrowind, but it's still installed on my computer, and I still jump in now and again. It makes Morrowind look amazing, fantastic. It's just about to the level of a default Skyrim installation on high. It really does look that good in the Morrowind engine. I mean, it's wow. And to go back and to play it with these graphics, it makes it tolerable. Sadly, they didn't change how the combat works, so it's still very stiff. The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind came out in 2002. That's a long time ago, and it's shown its age. It's one of my favorite games in the Elder Scrolls series. But it really is. Those textures are really bland, they're really, really blurred out. And this mod goes in and it gives it a real upgrade in the texture quality, in the sounds. And we're gonna see a lot of examples of that in this video. What's great is it's still... This is the best way I can describe it, but it looks so good. And there's other mods out there that work with it to help the combat along a little bit, but you're not gonna get the Skyrim combat. Highly recommend that one if you're looking to play one of the best RPGs of all time. Speaking of best RPGs of all time...
You remember to zip up your jumpsuit on the way out of the bathroom? That's good.
One of the most amazing looking mods made by a single guy is Mass Effect HD Remake, and it takes Mass Effect 1 and he's gone in and replaced the majority of the textures now into these HD high detail bump map textures that look fantastic. Everything from Garrus's face to different characters' armor, all the classic armors have been updated. Now, he hasn't done everything yet, but he's working on it, and it looks so good. If you're going to play through the Mass Effect series, if you're going to do a Let's Play of it, I highly recommend you install Mass Effect HD Remake. It's very easy install, and it's so worth it. The last two mentions is, what was it? Underhell, which is a Homeworld, which was a Half-Life 1 mod that has its own custom story. It's got some great voice acting. I spotlighted it a while back. I still haven't played through, I think it's part 3 they're up to now, and they're doing this in packed releases. So there's always more coming out. It's got this really deep story and this cool concept of you're playing through the memories of the main character, and as you play, you get to acquire things in this home. But the home is part of the mystery. I don't want to give too much away, but there's something going on with the house that's very intriguing. And lastly, I played some Third Age. As for the grand strategy, if it wasn't Sins, it was the Lord of the Rings total conversion for medieval Total Warfare. And it's just so good. The guy he knows the source material extremely well. He's added in all the units and all the sides, and you can play in the gigantic map. So you can play as Gondor fighting Mordor, and you can play as the dwarves, and they all are balanced in a way that makes sense for their race. So some of the strongest melee units are the dwarves at close range, but they don't have any cavalry at all, so you've got to balance for that. And all the sides have these strengths and weaknesses that make sense. Alright guys, that is what I've been playing for mods. Now there are a ton more that I've installed and I've been playing this year. These are just the ones that kind of popped into my head. If you've got your favorite mod of the year, one that you've been playing non-stop, maybe I don't know about, leave me a comment down below. I want to know. Maybe I can spotlight it, play it, and talk to the developers a little bit. Alright guys, well that wraps up this mod spotlight. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe here to this channel, and as always, thanks for watching. I will see you guys next time.